Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be doing a hoedown in Foxhaven. Yes, you heard me right. Today we are going to be building a little bluegrass bandstand. I had so much fun coming up with this idea. I thought, what would be better on a farm core town? And this area around resident services is going to be our quote unquote like farmers market. So I thought, what better idea than to have a bluegrass band playing in this open air market. So what we did is, I absolutely love this sort of decking code done by the amazing April Honey, and I think that it fits so well. It's like this tiny little corner of the world, right? And now before you ask, oh, why didn't you just use the campsite? Here's my retort. Okay. The campsite has been done to death. Yes, it is the best choice, and I don't think that it's wrong. Now, what you could do, if you wanted to sort of implement this kind of stage area, you could build it outward a little more, and you could put the campsite right there, and then kind of have that decking going around it. And now this one is actually a work in progress because this is my rags to riches island. So I still need, like a PA system. I need the lights and all that before it can be truly realized. But I wanted to get a build out on this island for two reasons. One is I didn't have really anything content-wise for this island yet. And two, I think documenting this journey is going to be a lot more fun instead of just doing it all on stream and just sort of making tiny builds here and there. So I went with this kind of rocky dirt path because the front of the island is essentially all this. And I kind of wanted that sort of continuity, and I just absolutely like it. I'm not biased at all, but this one was also done by April, and she just makes really good codes. I mean, she's my bestie. I can say that unbiasedly, right? She makes great codes. I'm not the only one that thinks so. I had a little bit of trouble. And now, before you say anything, yes, I realize that this relationship with pathing is getting a lot better. I left a couple of bloopers. You can totally laugh at me all you want, and I'm okay with that. So I couldn't really decide what direction I wanted the path to go. Now, I definitely wanted it to kind of angle down, which it does really nicely, but also there's a blooper. Apparently I put it in the wrong spot because this was before I had 3 stars. So I have to get some kudos because I was doing it without having the landscaping tool. So kudos to me for not losing my sanity when trying to figure out what direction I needed to be facing in order for it to actually look decent. So the path, I think it just adds a little bit more to that sort of country feel and to that kind of that overall bluegrass feel. I think it just looks super, super cute. The overall effect that I was going for was just that down home kind of, having fun, doing what you need to do, and having a good time, like caution to the wind, and just enjoying the music, enjoying the fun, you know, and sampling some awesome stuff, right? So when getting this stage together, of course, we have the amp, we have a guitar. I thought what would be really cute is like the street organ. Now, I didn't have like the street piano, but the organ, I think, just is so cute, and it adds so much to the overall aesthetic of the build. And it's just eclectic enough to actually work in kind of a bluegrass band, because the whole point of bluegrass is using what you have, and, you know, anything can be an instrument, right? A bucket can be a drum, or anything with a string across it can be a guitar. And the ukulele would have been perfect. However, I did not have the ukulele, which in hindsight is very sad. But we worked with it. We did with what we could. And so sort of adding these finishing touches, I think my overall design for this sort of bluegrass bandstand was just reinforcing that idea of country and just unity, right? Because that's kind of what bluegrass is all about. You know, it's about setting our differences aside, coming together, and just jamming out to some music like it's nobody's business. And when it's completely introduced into the farmers market itself, I think it's going to make a whole lot of sense for everybody. But this is something that you can incorporate on your island as well. If you're doing any kind of, you know, if you're doing a farm island, if you're doing even if you're doing cottagecore, like, you can totally have a little area that is just for, you know, if you know, your partner's play around, you know, or your kids play around. Like, it can totally be a vibe. It's just all a matter of what you use to implement it. And so, you know, we're going to do a little spring island is actually what this one's going to be. So I might actually remove the pumpkins later, because those are maybe a little too fall. But I think in the green customization, they're not terrible. Like, they're not so out of place. They add a little bit of color, and they add a little bit of kind of that, you know, farm town idea. Because, you know, farmers produce pumpkins, they produce everything else. So, you know, it may stay, it may not stay. But I think those little touches, those little finite touches, can really lift and elevate a build. And the biggest piece of advice that I can give is layering. And so when you're trying to decide if something looks good, you know, either, you know, do some hedges, do some wood, try different things, try different colors, try different variables, try different items together, and you might actually be surprised at what works and what doesn't work. And it might be something that you had never thought of. So definitely play around with it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had so much fun making this. It took so much joy and for me to be able to bring it to you guys. So as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.